Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I'm going to do a video on something today that I've never seen posted anywhere. Very few references to this subject, so I'm going to do a video on it. Maybe I'll do the first video there is on this. But what if you have one of these 2006 through a 2009 Ford Fusion with an automatic, and you still have this factory gear shift knob on it, which is, it's alright. It's just kind of a, I don't know, you look at it, sort of a low budget type of deal here. Well, what if you want to upgrade it to the new style, which is on a 2010 through a 2012, and the newer, actually 2013 has one that's similar also. What if you have one of those and you want to upgrade it? Can you do that? Well, you can. Here's what you need. You need the newer style pistol grip shift knob, and you need the slider that goes under it, because this is a different size. This little piece of trim also you need, but it's a different size, so it will obviously not fit in the original. So what we'll need to do is, this bolts right on in place of the other one, but we need to change a few things and we need to get into that shifter. So what we're going to do first is we're going to need to take off this the shift knob. So you're going to take a it's not hard to do. Let me get my tools in place here. Never mind my neighbor's aggravating dog. But first you're going to take a flat blade, pry that down like so, get that out of the way so you can get to the screws. And when I got this car, the shift knob actually came off in my hand, and what it was once you get these that little piece of trim down, you've got two little screws which are Torx head screws. Try not to drop those. They were actually out and were laying in that little piece of trim right there, which were not supposed to be out. So I put them back in and put some Loctite on them. This is what this is magnetic, thank you. This is what they call job one, which means this was the first Fusions they ever built. This is a 2006, so everything that's going to break or fall off of it, and this was on this one. So anyhow, got you back far enough to just pull the shifter off. There is to it, and then you can take off that little piece of trim, put those to the side, and all you got is this thing. Ain't that beautiful? So what we need to do now is we need to take a few things apart, and namely we're going to have to take this trim off, I believe, and then we've got to take this cup holder out to get into the shifter. So let me work on all this and I'll show you how I did it. Okay then, let me bring you up to speed real quick working on this. What I did was, first off, I pulled off this piece of chrome trim. Some people, it's called a bezel, but some people will call it a bezel for some reason. If you don't want to call it a bezel, go right ahead, be my guest. And then I opened up the storage compartment and I just pulled out on this piece of plastic here that holds the cup holder area, and started working it up, and it's just got little plastic holders in it. And I've got a set of these plastic trim tools that I got from Harbor Freight, so they'll kind of assist you if you're a little bit kind of squeamish about pulling on stuff, which the plastic seems pretty good in here. But get that over out of the way, and yes, we're going to be cleaning that grunge off there. Oh, what secrets do we have in here? Uh-oh, I see a key. Maybe it's to this car. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Check that out later. So what we got to do is, there's me a cigarette and some acetaminophen. This car was really grungy when I got it. Should be wearing gloves. This is not quite as bad as the other car I cleaned up a little while back, but pretty good. So what we got to do here, this is kind of, may seem a little confusing. I think actually we're going to have to take out that tray right there. Let me work on that and see. Okay then, I just popped that out. It just popped up, and I laid it over to the side there, and it's going to give us some more room. We don't have to take the shifter out, but what we have to do is we have to pop up this top right here. And in the junkyard, I had to go in here and push on with my fingers and then pull up right here on this part. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see me doing that, but I'll keep you on just in case. These are some kind of a strange piece of tooling here. I'm kind of confused about how it releases, but I know when I pulled on it at the junkyard, acted like something flew out of there, but yeah, okay. Let me work on that a little bit, guys, and I'll do a better job of explaining once I get it turned loose. Back in a minute. Well, what I did was I actually ended up, these back on the back right here, you don't push it. You guys probably can't see that, can you? Those little guys right there, you'll see them when you're getting ready to do this, where they sit in there, but you don't push them in. I feel like they would push me. You just take like a little pick or something and just start kind of working them out back to the back, each one at a time, and alternate and pull up a little bit on this thing, and then all of a sudden it'll release. And then you got another one in here, up here at the front, a couple of them, which, there we go, that just pulls that out. Good. And I'll show you why you're doing this. I may have to disconnect the wire, I bet. I think I am. Right under here where this light is. Got a bulb in here. Whoops. Show the thing, dude. Ain't too good with this camera. Alright, so there that comes off. And the reason why we're doing this is because that that's interesting. Okay, I'm just going to push this thing out and see where it goes. The reason why, like I said, we have to trade these out. Alright, it didn't go that way. So it looks like we're probably going to have to pop the end loose on one side, one end of this, so that little slider will slide all the way out. So let me slide that slider out and do that. Well, okay then, what I ended up doing is I took my pick again and I just picked out this little, there's like a little plastic latch on each side of this. It's got a little white paint mark on it, I guess to signify when they built the car that it was attached. And then when you do that, that lets this ribbon just slide out. So all I'm going to do is I've already cleaned this one up, and this one is, the new one is a little bit longer, I'm sorry, than the one that came out of there. So I'm just going to test fit this. I'm going to slide this new one back in and make sure that you have it turned the right way, because you need to have the little dot thing where the light shines through for the gear selector under this side, so don't put it in backwards. I'm going to just test that and make sure it's going to slide back and forth all the way fore and aft. Well, okay then, we've got a problem. This thing is going to have to be trimmed because it will not go all the way up to park with the length that it is. So we're going to have to mod this thing a little. It goes all the way back, but when it's all the way back, it's almost at the end down here, so we may trim some off the back too. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply take it into the garage area, and I'm just going to line it up with this one, the one that came out, the nasty one, and just simply I'm going to line the, what I'm going to do to index it, I'm going to line up the, like that. There's your holes there. So I'm going to line up the light marks, and I'm going to just trim off, and it looks like you're going to have to trim off one section up here and one section down here. Let's do that now. Well, that should work fine now once I trim that all off. So I snapped the end back on down here that I had to take loose and put it back up, and I'm going to do some cleaning now, and then I'm going to throw everything back together. Getting close. One thing I did not mention is that this has a button on the side of it which has got a little car going down a hill, and it used to have wires going in down here in the plug, which I've taken out because I don't need this. This car doesn't use this button, because those cars, the 2010s on up, have a 6F35 transmission in them, and this one has a different transmission. So you can just either leave the wires in it and use it for something else, like a siren or something, or maybe a parachute or whatever. Doesn't matter. You can use it for that in the future, or you can just take them out if you want a clean installation. But I've put my stuff all back together, and I've got this thing in place. Make sure you have this little chrome deal positioned correctly, and then it just slides down. If you look here, you'll notice that the bolt holes, to get you some light on this subject. Bolt holes, shake that camera, line right up. So just bolt it in and good to go. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on these again because they tend to loosen up. So then you should be ready to have miles and miles of driving enjoyment with your new updated shift knob. Alright, when we get all back together, we'll take one more look at it. Okay then, let's try it out. In there. Yep, perfect. So there you go, guys. That's how you do this little job. And the only downside of this is 98% of the population will never know you changed anything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. See ya.